Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back my good friend Genoveva Rossi, one of my favorite people in the entire world. I'm having her back on the show today, probably comment on the quarantine situation, and I'd like to get into talk about International Masturbation Month. And I love Genoveva. She's the absolute best. One of my favorite people in the world who has no filter. And it's going to be another interesting conversation with her. I can just feel it. Oh, it's going to be great. I realize today is May 14th. It's the 38th anniversary since Conan the Barbarian came out. On May 14th, 1982. That might not be significant to a lot of yous out there, but I thought I'd just throw that out there and stuff. And I think that's pretty cool. That's just about it. So, here is my new interview with Genoveva Rossi. What's up, Genoveva?
Hey, dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, all things considered, I guess not bad. It's just the world's crazy now, right?
Oh, my God. This is a clusterfuck, ain't it? This whole situation. It's just one big clusterfuck.
Yeah, it's like crazy because obviously we have the virus and then we have everybody being a dick on top of that,
Yeah. A lot of people in your area get really sick in your part of New York.
Well, I'm right outside of New York and I live in a city with a population of 145,000.
Yeah.
Over 5,000 people are positive in my town.
Oh, God. Yeah, in my town, we had one person die for like a whole month, right? That was the only person. And since then, we've had about maybe 75 or something.
Oh, wow, yeah. It really blew up all of a sudden, because I guess people can have it for quite a few weeks, and then,
Yeah. And I've said this before. It's good that the number is low, but it's so bad for the families involved. You know what I mean?
The numbers are what?
I said the numbers. It's good that the numbers are low of the people.
The numbers are low. Okay.
The people dying in my town, but it's so bad for the families. I feel so sorry for them.
Well, any number of people to die is a big deal because it's like, it's a small percentage of people die, but if that person's like your friend or your cousin or whatever, it's significant,
Yeah. But I think overall, this whole pandemic, I think it's been good for everyone because since 9/11 happened, the whole world has been so selfish and greedy and just mean-spirited. I think this is like humbling everybody.
Well, it shows you how interconnected we all are and how important everybody's job is. Like, look at the people that make a minimum wage, these essential workers. People take, really look down at them and treat them like shit. But where would you be now without the people working at the grocery store,
Yeah. You doing the grocery delivery thing?
I went to the grocery store yesterday, but you know what I do? I go to the grocery store about once a month, and I buy about $200 worth of groceries.
Yeah.
And then, like a lot of frozen, dry food, canned food and shit. And then I only go once a month.
Yeah, we go to the store a lot, and we bring our masks and our gloves and stuff. But we actually just had them delivered for the first time on Monday, and it was a good experience to have it delivered. But you gotta get out of the house once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been going out for walks quite a bit and all that kind of stuff. And then, what else? So the grocery store, and then once in a while I go to, like, Walgreens or whatever to pick up shampoo or hairspray or whatever. But I'm wearing a mask. I wear glasses, too. I usually wear sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
They would cross to my face and won't get in my eyes. And then I wear my rubber gloves. And I have my hair pulled back in like a bun.
Yeah.
And I wear a trench coat, so it looks kind of like like, I'm from the future or something.
Yeah.
And that's what I look like in a grocery shop,
Yeah, look like a flasher.
I look like I'm wearing like a pink trench coat with animal print, pink tinted glasses. I'm wearing like an N95 mask and rubber gloves. So I think I look like I'm from like some dystopia in the future.
Yeah.
I'm in like some crazy movie like Liquid Sky or something.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm actually thinking about reaching out to the director of that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool movie, Liquid Sky. That really foreshadowed the whole AIDS pandemic, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are certain movies that actually have like a metaphor for that and stuff. I've been telling people, this whole pandemic is like part 9/11 and part reboot of that old sci-fi show V.
Oh, wow. You think space aliens are going to come down and eat us all? That would suck.
I don't think that. Yeah, I mean metaphorically, I think they would, but not literally. But yeah, like I mean, in the pilot for V, it was a 3-hour miniseries or something. In that pilot, the whole world has just stopped because they know that that something's wrong. I mean, the aliens come down and everything, but it's like still, the world has stopped and nobody knows, what's really out there and what isn't, because everyone's, listening to the news and listening to our quote unquote president, and nobody is really sure what to believe anymore,
I don't know what to believe with all this too, because it's just like there's different scientists with different views, and I've been reading a lot of scientific articles since this began. And, and there's some people that really think the lockdown is super duper important. There's other scientists that don't think there's a lot of scientific evidence to support a lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know who's right.
Yeah, you never know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you never know. It's really scary. And
people's lives are in the balance. So, I'm wearing a mask when I go to the store or when I'm around people. Because you know what? Better safe than sorry. And I wash my hands and I carry Purell in my purse.
Yeah. It's funny. I was sad, actually. I reached out to this great New York actor that I wanted to interview, Mark Blum. Mm-hmm. He died of the virus a month and a half ago. I reached out to him in January. At first, he turned me down, and I told him, he's the only person from Desperately Seeking Susan that I can get in touch with because the producers were absolute twats to me. And
oh wow, I saw that he had passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I said to him, you're the only one I can talk to, and he said, okay, I'm going through a tough time right now. Give me at least until June. And I said, okay, and then he died, and it's really, really sad.
Well, and then related to that, in that movie, Madonna has said that she tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies. I remember the first time I heard about, COVID-19 was in the same day I heard about Madonna canceling her Madam X tour due to illness.
Yeah.
And then, she probably didn't realize it, but she had COVID-19, and that's why she was canceling her tour.
Yeah.
But she didn't realize it at the time because people didn't realize how widespread it was. She was touring the country and she comes into contact with a lot of people.
Yeah, plus COVID wasn't on the radar too, so she couldn't have known.
Well, it was out there. I was aware of it since like the beginning of January, and I think news just came out from China on December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
But now they say it might have been in China since September.
Huh. Yeah, I did not know about it until that week in March when it was first announced, right? And my mom, she got the word confused, coronavirus. She called it carnivore virus, and I was like, "What's that? Is that like a sequel to the swine flu or something?" Because you go from
what had happened is that between the impeachment trial and Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash, the the virus didn't get as much play in the news as it should have.
Yeah. Yeah, because you go from swine flu to carnivore virus because of there's a whole reference to like eating meat there, so that's why I thought it was funny. But
oh yeah, like in Mad Cow is like one of the other ones.
Mad Cow, yeah. Forgot about Mad Cow. I forgot about Mad Cow.
Yeah. But I was following this since the beginning of January. On YouTube and seeing a lot of reports and things that people from China were posting on YouTube.
Right.
About what the conditions were. So I was very nervous about this since January. But just a lot of people weren't aware of it. But the news was out there, but only if you really dug around for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's become mainstream news, I guess, until maybe March.
Yeah. How long do you think it's going to take another year?
I think we're going. I just have a feeling we're going to see a lot of improvements in May this month. I think I have a feeling that this month was going to. I've been feeling this for a while, and I feel like this month things are going to shift in a more positive direction. Just a feeling I have, and I don't know. I personally think I agree with the scientists that believe that far more people have this than we realize, and that the mortality rate is much lower than what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think a very large percentage of the population has been infected. Very, very large percentage of the population, and I think only a very small percentage is being hospitalized, and even smaller percentages die.
Yeah. I don't have an opinion anymore because every time I do, my prediction never happens. I could go either way. I just hope it can get done, soon, because I miss going to events. I miss just living life like a normal human being.
Oh yeah, well, it's very stressful and it's very traumatic. I feel sorry for how isolated everyone is. It's very difficult because you can't really socialize now. It's hard to see your family. It's hard to see your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Kids can't even go to school. It's very, very isolating, and it's not good for people that have mental illness, for people that feel lonely. I know near me, I'm seeing a lot of suicides in the news, a lot more drug addiction and drug arrests than usual.
Yeah.
All around, it's a bad situation, and I really hope for the sake of the world that it's over fairly soon.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed though that my gym in my apartment is closed. Starting January 1st, right? I was on the strict diet, and I was going to the gym every day. I was exercising, and I lost 24 pounds so far, and I've maintained it. And I gotta keep going another 100 or so. I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, and everything was great and stuff. But I gotta keep going because I go back in October, and I just wanna be healthy, and I wanna get some exercise. But I can only walk so far out here, and get exercise that way. And I just hope the gym opens up again.
Yeah. Speaking of, is this our interview right now? Have we gone into it? Are you recording?
Oh yeah, we're recording.
Okay, I wasn't sure enough.
Yeah.
But what's call it? Me personally, I tend to go to the gym 4 times a week. So as soon as this whole pandemic got going and we weren't allowed to go to places like the gym, I had 60 pounds of free weights delivered from eBay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have dumbbells and weight plates in my apartment that I've been working out with 4 times a week.
Yep.
And doing that sort of thing to kind of keep things, kind of keep my momentum. And I have a stability ball, I have a stationary bike, I have stuff like that,
Yeah. Well, you don't need it because you look great.
Well, but then I've been working out since high school, so.
Yeah.
We don't really know what I would look like if I didn't work out.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't really know. It's like the chicken and the egg, we don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Say.
Yeah.
I keep it up no matter what. It's like my lifestyle and such stuff.
Hmm. I don't know if you know this, Genoveva, but May is International Masturbation Month.
Oh, interesting. Well, we're probably all doing that a bit more now than usual.
Yeah.
So we really stuck home.
Yeah, the origin of it in 1995, the Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders, who is like a dream guest I would love to get. I heard her on a podcast recently. She was trying to get masturbation into the school curriculum, and Bill Clinton, being the hypocrite that he was, didn't agree with that, so he fired her. And so the San Francisco gay community declared May International Masturbation Month because that's when she was fired in May.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, you would think that you would want to encourage kids to do that because that's like the safest sex, probably, right?
Of course, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why, he would not want that, I mean, unless, he wanted blowjobs in the curriculum too, but she didn't say that.
Yeah, well, what do they say? Woody Allen has this quote, I think, that masturbation is making love to the person you love the most.
Yes. The exact quote, it was in the movie Annie Hall. The exact quote is, "Hey, don't knock masturbation. It's sex with someone I love."
Yeah, I thought Woody Allen's a very popular guy right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever saw Annie Hall, did I? I've seen a few of his movies, but I don't think I saw that one in particular. I always like Crimes and Misdemeanors. That would be my favorite Woody Allen film.
That's a good one. But Annie Hall's my favorite. It's my favorite romantic comedy of all time, as a matter of fact. But as far as his movies, that Sleeper, Love and Death, and I like Bananas and Take the Money and Run. But like everything you always want to know about sex, but we're afraid to ask. Oh, that's great. I love that one.
I've seen that one. Yeah, for me, Crimes and Misdemeanors because I like Alan Alda a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I met him once at like a book signing. I don't know. I just like he's a very personable kind of guy. I actually have a horror movie that he was in the 70s.
Really?
That not a lot of people are aware of. It's called Mephisto Wolf.
Huh, I've never seen that.
It's actually pretty good. I think the premise of it is that, like, he's kind of being possessed by, like, this spirit of, like, this satanic piano.
Huh, I gotta see that. Wow, to see Alan Alda in a horror movie. Wow.
I have it on tape. I watched it a couple times, and I liked it because I like Alan Alda. And then it's kind of like an interesting kind of satanic panic kind of movie, but then it has a lot to do with music.
Yeah.
So it kind of has a couple different layers to it, and it's pretty well done and pretty well acted,
Mm-hmm.
It's from the 70s. Maybe it's the 60s, but I feel like it's the 70s. But yeah, I would check it out for sure.
What's it called again?
Everything he does,
Yeah, what's it called again?
I think it's called Mephisto Wolf.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it here on Wikipedia. Wow,
Yeah.
Paul Winco's directed, and it's got him.
Oh, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I would definitely recommend it as kind of like an obscure movie. It's just one of those movies that we never really talk about. Somebody got me a horror movie box set for Christmas, and it was one of the horror movies in the box set.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
And then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So
It's got a great.
there you go.
Got a great cast: Jacqueline Bisset, Bradford Dillman, William Wyndon. Ooh, Pamela Ferdin. I'm trying to get her on the podcast. She's one of the great voiceover
It's
people.
a really good movie. It's just kind of surprising it doesn't have any kind of following,
Yeah. Huh. Wow, I'm going to check that one out. But yeah.
You should. And then maybe you can have a podcast where you discuss that movie and you'll be the first one to really bring it out into, the forefront.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if I get Pamela and Ferdinand on here, her and I will definitely talk about it.
Yeah, because it's one of those horror movies that's really good, I think, but nobody ever seems to talk about. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about my horror stuff. I just went to 105 IMDb credits.
Mm-hmm.
I have some upcoming films for people to look for. I just filmed a movie called Central Authority.
Mm-hmm.
It's a socially distanced film.
A socially distant film?
Shot that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that's going to be probably out, down the road, so people can look for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to be acting in a few exciting films, including Jasper, with some really exciting people in the horror genre.
Huh. Like who in particular?
Right now, if you look at it on IMDb, Renee Quigley's in it, Bill Moseley, Kane Hodder, Michael Berryman, and a whole bunch of other people.
Nice. I'm excited. Next week, I got Vernon Wells coming on the show.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we have that coming up, Jasper. What else? Then I'm going to be working on a couple other films, The Dead End, and then another one. What is it called? Now I can't remember. And then another horror film coming up soon too. Just a whole bunch of things. And then I'm even in negotiations, I think, for some drama films that I might be doing soon too that are outside of the horror genre.
Really? Drama films?
Yeah, non-horror. A couple people recently contacted me to have me doing some dramatic films that are not in the horror genre at all. So I don't just act in the horror genre. I also do the theater. I do comedy. I do a whole bunch of stuff. But just they make so many horror movies that it's very easy to keep yourself really busy with that one,
Yeah. Wow, so what kind of plays have you done in the theater?
Let's see. I did actually, a couple years ago, I was a lead in a biblical play based on a book called Harlots and Heresy that's available on Amazon.com. I played Delilah of Samson and Delilah.
Huh.
So I was one of the leads in that, and that was pretty cool, to be in a biblical play and that kind of thing. It was interesting, memorizing all the dialogue. I had 3 monologues, over 80 lines of dialogue, and it's all, really very much in, the whole, biblical kind of rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of interesting to actually be doing something along those lines. And then I was also in, I think, the last 4 or 5 years, I was at the Nyack Village Theater in their Edgar Allan Poe play.
Huh.
Where we all dressed up and read or performed our favorite stories by Edgar Allan Poe.
Huh. I like Edgar Allan Poe in his stories. I think he's like one of the greats, one of the pioneers too. Yeah, wow, God, I didn't even realize you had that much theater training. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and then I also did with the same theater. We did a Christmas play a while ago that was based on the George Burns radio plays. If you remember George Burns,
of course,
that old Jewish guy with a cigar that used to do movies in the '80s, like "Oh God, You Devil" and all that.
Sunshine Boys, he won the Academy Award for.
Exactly, and then him and his wife Gracie back in the day used to do radio plays, so we actually did one of the radio plays as a theater production.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of interesting. And then I also, last St. Patrick's Day, I was involved in a Irish reading of some famous Irish works. I did a Oscar Wilde. I read Oscar Wilde. But Oscar Wilde, he's probably one of my favorite Irish people, Irish writers. I'm not Irish, but they let me be in the performance anyway.
Yeah.
I'm 0% Irish, but I got to be in it. They look the other way. Well,
yeah.
diversity. Diversity.
Yeah.
And
Have you done Broadway?
no, I haven't even tried to do Broadway actually. No, the problem with theater stuff is that when I do so much film work, is that I only do plays that have a very short run
Mm.
because otherwise it would interfere too much with my filming schedule.
Yeah. I
A lot
miss.
of plays that I've done were only for like 1 or 2 weekends.
Yeah, I miss doing theater. I'll tell you. I tell you, I did in high school, right? And all the kids who were in it, they were all stuck up rich kids who were just so damn mean, right? So after high school, I got offered to work at my high school's theater, and I turned it down for a mirage of reasons. And one of them was because the kids who were in theater at my high school were so damn mean, you know. So I shied away from theater for years, and then when I was 30, I went back to it up until my accident when I was 31 and a half. And I actually, met a lot of nice people and a lot of fun people doing theater that I wasn't exposed to in high school, and I miss it a lot. I tried getting involved in the theater here, up here in Reading, and it's just not the same as it is in the Bay Area. It's a lot more conservative, and a lot of the millennials who are involved are very woke. And just you can't joke with them. It's just it's really weird up here. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Well, I'm glad you're involved in the theater and stuff, though. And it's tough. It's a mixed bag. Most of the people I've worked with have been really cool, though. I had a lot of fun working with my theater director and some of the different people that I work with. I don't know. I had mostly good experiences with it.
Hmm. I bet they all love you though. I bet they when you're all hanging out and stuff, backstage. I bet that it's a lot of laughs.
Yeah, yeah, but when you work in the theater, though, too, I think it's a lot of. I know me personally when I'm doing a play, I like to stay in character until we're done.
Hmm. You like to stay in
I stay in
character.
character. Like if it's a 3 hour performance, I'm in my character for 3 hours straight.
Yeah, I didn't even realize you were into the method.
Well, when it comes to theater, I think you want to just stay in your character until you're done with the theater performance. Otherwise, I think you break your concentration as an actor. I don't think it's even about being a method actor. It's, I think, about being focused.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, one of the actors I saw when I went back to theater, she was playing a very demanding role. It was a play called "And Miss Reardon Drinks a Little," and she was playing this really fucked up sister in the play who just went through a lot of psychological damage and stuff. It was a very challenging role, and the whole time, even before the play, I saw her just constantly focused, concentrating, trying to get to that place of emotion for the performances, and I saw many of these performances, and she was doing that the whole time. I actually didn't get to properly meet her until the next play.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have to be like really focused. The interesting thing about theater versus film is that for theater you get to be the same character for like 2, 3 hours straight through, whereas when you're doing film, it's like a lot of turning yourself on and then turning yourself off again. Like we shoot a scene and then you're waiting around for like 3 hours drinking coffee and eating a bagel.
Yeah.
And then now we're shooting another scene, and then you're sitting around for like an hour, waiting to shoot the next scene. Just with film, there's a lot of, setting up and getting different shots and things like that. There's an incredible amount of downtime. So in film, it's like you have to be someone that can turn yourself on and off and be very consistent every time we shoot a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then with theater, it's a great opportunity to just kind of like marry yourself to the role for like a few hours straight.
Right.
And just really be that character straight through. With no break, like, from scene to scene to scene. Maybe you just go in the back room to put on a new costume, but you're pretty much just going from like scene to scene very seamlessly. So it's like, it's interesting that they're both completely different mediums. And not everybody that does well vice versa. They are so different.
Yeah. Can you sing and dance?
Can I sing and dance? That's a good question. Can I? Well, I have not sung and danced in any film or play. I have taken singing lessons, so I guess I'm not too awful of a singer. And dance, the only dance lessons I've ever taken are belly dance.
Mm-hmm. Which I think,
so I guess it's possible.
Which I think you're perfect for, because you do have the best belly button there is.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's possible because if you look at people like, like a great film like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes with
Marilyn Monroe.
Also Marilyn Monroe, I don't think they had any singing or dancing experience. And people don't realize that Marilyn Monroe had a very limited voice range, which she sang in so many of her movies.
Yeah, she did have a pretty good range, I have to say. And
no, she had a very limited range.
Oh, a limited range. I'm sorry, limited.
Which is her range. If you actually listen to her, she had a very, very limited vocal range.
Mm-hmm.
She did not have like a professional singing voice. But I think if you're a good enough actor and you know how to perform, you probably can figure it out and you can do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised they didn't dub her because that's what they were doing back then. When someone couldn't sing, they were always overdubbing people.
She wasn't like the best singer in the world, like from a professional standpoint, but there was just something that people liked about her voice and the way she sang and her persona that I guess people just found her still very interesting nonetheless,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some singers are like that, like look at Bob Dylan,
You know what, people knock Bob Dylan's singing, but you know what? His singing matches his lyrics, especially a big hit like a Rolling Stone, because he's singing, from the perspective of the hapless fool, the guy who is basically the loser of the story, and not just in that song, but so many different stories and different songs that he sang. His voice is perfect for that, I mean, I've heard many people do renditions of his songs, but I don't know, just what that voice he has, he sells it. You know what I mean?
Well, it fits, and people enjoy it, and it fits the style and things like that. And then, like, similarly, if you see people like Marilyn Monroe and, like, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and a lot of the other films she sang in, like How to Marry a Millionaire, I think, too, it just kind of, like, fits. She has the costume, she has the outfit, she carries herself well. People find it cute or whatever, the way she's performing it, whatever.
Yeah.
The movies were very successful, so nobody can doubt it. But yeah, you'd be surprised how often they dub actors in movies. Like I just found out, like in The Sound of Music, the father was dubbed. That was not his voice.
Yeah. I always say too, if
that movie like a million times, and I didn't realize that they dubbed somebody else's voice. And I know like George Clooney has had his voice overdubbed in films too.
Yeah. And I always say, too, if Charlie Chaplin had a voice, playing the tramp, I think it would be like Bob Dylan, Again, he's the fool, the dreamer, the guy who's just, going from one town to the next, I know I'm getting deep here, but that's how I've always seen it.
Well, there's probably something more to just having a great voice. Because there's a lot of really famous singers that do not have, the best voices professionally. If you think of like octave range and things like that.
Yeah.
For instance, like I was reading, Britney Spears and Madonna don't have the octave range of Lady Gaga, but Britney Spears and Madonna have a great stage persona and a lot of personality and great images that people find very engaging.
Right.
So it's about the whole package, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not really just about one thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I can't sing, but I have fun singing karaoke.
Oh, yeah, karaoke. Yeah, karaoke's fun. That's fun. Yeah.
It's fun.
And karaoke.
Yeah, I consider.
I was at a horror convention a while back, and people were doing karaoke. It was pretty. It's always surreal when we're at a horror convention and we get to see people doing karaoke. They're like celebrities. Like I was lucky enough to be at a horror convention as a guest and see Sid Haig do karaoke. Sid Haig was.
That's a funny visual.
Oh yeah, but he was an accomplished singer. He did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was at another horror convention and Richard Grieco was singing.
Oh my God. I'm just trying to picture.
It's interesting to see all these different people. Some of the horror and actors that I meet are really, really into karaoke. They're karaoke superstars, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to picture all these people singing. Yeah, every time I go to a convention, there's an after party. It's always a band playing. I never get to see the karaoke, and I would like to go up there and show, off my karaoke singing. But it's always a band. I think certain people, they're like, if we get karaoke at this after party, that means everyone's going to get drunk, and then that just amplifies the possibility of a fight. All that stupid inner dialogue.
Oh yeah, well, karaoke's a lot of fun when you have the celebrities. Ryan O'Halloran from Clerks is a karaoke superstar too.
Really?
He's fun. Karaoke is kind of, in some ways, is more fun than a band because you get to see all the actors and the fans, singing their favorite songs. And some people are really good, and some people maybe aren't as good. But everybody's kind of having fun. It's very human,
Yeah, well, there's a horror band that plays at Monsterpalooza every year called Scarioke, and when I first heard that name, I thought it was going to be karaoke. I thought they were just calling it Scarioke because, not everybody can sing and everyone butchers, popular songs, but no, it was a band. Scarioke.
Yeah, it's something. I thought it was going to be like a horror-themed karaoke, like where we all sing like the Monster Mash and things like that.
Yeah, I would love to sing.
The Monster Mash, that's a good song.
That's one of my best songs, as a matter of fact, because I do Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, and I would love to do that at a convention after party. Maybe someday I'll be at a convention that does have karaoke.
Yeah, that would be a fun one to do at a horror convention for karaoke. You don't even have to be really that good of a singer. It's really all about the presentation.
It's all about presentation. It's all about, bringing theatrics to it, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun song. I like, fun songs like that. Yeah, I think the last time I did karaoke, a very popular song I did was Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood.
Of course.
And when a woman sings that, it sounds really, really gay. You don't realize that until you sing it.
Mm-hmm. It does. Yeah.
I'm going to make a rich woman big and make an old woman squeal, all this other stuff. So that was an interesting one. Yeah, a lot of guys found that one actually really sexy that I was singing that. So I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
One guy told me he got a chubby while I was singing it, which I said was actually probably the most positive feedback I've gotten on my karaoke performance. So I'll take it. That's an easy song to sing, and that's like a karaoke favorite too,
Yeah. How does it feel, though, to know that so many men masturbate to you on a regular basis?
Okay, I guess.
Okay.
I guess it's all right. Yeah, I wonder if any women do.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. Especially in the horror world, the female horror fans, they're so free spirited and they're just as dirty as the men are,
Maybe. It's hard to say. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Hard to say. But I was talking to Bill Oberst and a whole bunch of other people in the horror genre.
Yeah.
It just seems like if you're an actor or an actress that does horror is a very sexualized genre.
Of course.
And anybody that's like a horror actor or actress, I think, becomes a little bit of a sex symbol because that genre is, I guess, rather erotic.
Right.
Compared to romantic comedies and some of the other things out there. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it's a very erotic genre, even more so than any others. Um, yeah, I mean, because I've always wanted to know, like, how each of these women feel that guys do that. I mean, I know that a lot of them, they know it, but they don't want to know it. You know what I mean? I mean, I remember the first time I talked to you, though, you were a rare exception. You told me that you could tell me about it, just don't show me.
Yeah. Keep that to yourself, dude. You don't need to send me pictures. I don't need to know.
Yeah,
I used to get a lot more people sending pictures, but now with the whole Me Too movement, a lot less people are sending you dick pics that are unsolicited, you know?
yeah, yeah,
It's
definitely.
good because, it's one thing if, you're dating somebody or whatever and you want to send erotic pictures to each other, but you really don't want to be sending pictures to someone unless you're sure they want them,
Hmm. Yeah.
you know?
I tell anyone, if you get unsolicited dick pictures, forward them to me because I love looking at dicks.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Funny. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. And then you can tell the guys that's what you're doing. I'm like, thanks. I'll be sending these to my guy friend. He likes to look at them.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't stop it. Or they might be into it. You just never know nowadays. They might be really into that.
Yeah.
Go either way. Go either way with that. Either they'll be really turned on by it, or they'll be turned off. One or the other.
Yeah. So, do you have any masturbation stories?
Oh no, not really. Nothing too exciting going on in my life right now. But once again, I want to focus on my acting life. So
Hmm.
upcoming films I'll be working on, and excited about our Brain Hunter, New Breed.
Hmm.
It's a pretty good one. I think Tom Sizemore is the lead in that one.
Tom Sizemore.
Yep, I like him. He's a cool dude. Cool dude, very talented.
Yeah.
Casper's coming up. I play Pamela Davidson. We're going to have Kane Hodder, Phil Mosley, Renee Quigley, Michael Berryman, and a whole bunch of really, really cool people that I grew up being a fan of.
Hmm.
And then I just shot the Central Authority, a couple weeks ago. And that was the first film I've ever done that was a socially distanced film using cutting edge technology. So I look forward to that coming out. People
Hmm.
can look for that one fairly soon. And then, and I've been working on some other things and stuff. Life's been fairly busy, and I have a couple other films kind of in the works that we're talking about now and reading scripts on, and hopefully we'll be shooting fairly soon. I can keep myself occupied.
Are you worried about the future of the convention scene?
Um, I would say so. I think it would appear as though for the foreseeable future, for probably large-scale events may not be the safest thing to do.
I think that a lot of the future conventions, there's going to be people who have shields at their booths, and there's going to be a lot of hand sanitizer.
Well, that's true. That's true. We might be able to do these things with social distancing, like, we could have the tables 6 feet from each other. We can have people maintaining social distance and not allow overcrowding,
Hmm.
You have people wearing face shields and masks. We could put shields between the guests and the people that are speaking to the guests, like they do at, pharmacies and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a possibility, I guess, of doing these things with certain guidelines in place. I guess we'll have to see how things develop.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty strange. I mean, some people already are doing the virtual conventions, which I think are ridiculous because they're given like 2 minutes of time with each celebrity and stuff. I'm definitely not going to do the virtual thing.
Well, right now we're doing everything virtually because, people are lonely and people are isolated, and anything that returns us to a sense of normalcy, I think, is good. If you want to do an art class on
absolutely. Yeah. I was supposed to go to Monsterpalooza last weekend and the Hollywood show, and they both got canceled. And I was looking forward to meeting so many people and stuff. I just hope I can do it, this fall, when they have them back up again and stuff. I'm having withdrawals. I need my convention fix.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, this whole situation. It affects us on so many different levels. But at the same time, we want everybody to be safe.
Mm-hmm. We want everybody to be safe. Absolutely. So is there
Yeah.
any other roles that are on the horizon, or is that pretty much it?
I have some other ones coming up too, potentially, but nothing that I'm allowed to speak of yet
Mm-hmm.
because I signed non-disclosure agreements, so I don't like to speak of them too much. But yeah, Brain Hunter, New Breed, Jasper are some big ones that I'm going to be working on soon. Also, The Dead End, a zombie movie, and one of the ones that we just shot recently that should be available maybe after November is The Central Authority. That's a pretty interesting one. Like a comedy kind of thing. And very cool. It was a challenging experience, for sure. And then, I was a featured zombie in Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Netflix movie.
Nice.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's known for his superhero type movies, but I submitted some pictures of myself and I was cast as a zombie character in Army of the Dead, and that was a pretty cool experience to be on a $90 million movie hanging out as a zombie. So that was cool. I had a nice time with that one as well. That hopefully will be coming out fairly soon, especially since it's a Netflix movie. The release date on that one might not really be affected by anything.
Mm-hmm.
I bet everybody would love to see a new Netflix movie right about now.
Yeah. Did you hear about Joel Reed's death?
Who's that?
He did Bloodsucking Freaks, one of the earliest trauma movies.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. What did he pass from and when?
I believe it was COVID about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And funny thing is, I was supposed to give him his last interview. He was in the hospital back in February, and I reached out to him, and he told me, he's like, I'm getting out of the hospital on Friday, and as soon as I get home, you want to do the interview? I said, sure. And I waited like an hour, never heard from him. And then a month went by, and then I went on his Facebook, and he announced that he was still in the hospital. And then about 3 or 4 weeks ago, found out he passed, and so I didn't get to interview him, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, when I talked to him on the phone, I remember like the day before, and yeah, he sounded pretty bad, I have to say.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Well, I hate to hear about anybody, losing their fight with this, for sure. Or anything else for that matter,
Mm-hmm.
Life is too short. Life is very precious. That's what we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Absolutely.
learning a lot of that now. Life is extremely precious.
It is extremely precious, yes. Well, Genoveva, I'm glad you came back on today and stuff. You were extremely well behaved compared to last time.
Yeah. Well, you were more well behaved too.
Well, you kept me in check. That's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and thanks for having me on. I hope everybody looks me up online, GenovevaRossi.com, GenovevaRossi. Look me up on IMDb. I think I currently have 35 movies on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
so people can kind of check those out. And, follow my IMDb, follow my website, reach out to my Facebook, my Instagram, or my Twitter. You can stay abreast of what's going on in my life.
Awesome. I adore you so much, Genoveva, and it's always great talking with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much. Be safe, and hopefully days are coming. Okay?
Absolutely. Be safe and have yourself, well, it's going to be night by now. Have a great night over there.
You too. Take care now.
Okay.
Right?
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well, there you have it. Genoveva Rossi. Ain't she a sweetheart? Love Genoveva. She is just so awesome. And I'm glad we got to talk again today. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.